In this video, we talk about combinations of puts and calls and how investors can combine them to achieve different profit trends than they would with just an individual put or a call. So one of the main combinations that we have is called a straddle, which is a combination of a put and a call with the same exercise price and exercise date. That's a straddle. There are other combinations. A combination of two puts and a call is called a strip. A combination of two calls and a put is called a strap, and so on. So there are various names, various colorful names for different combinations. Here we're going to focus deeply on the straddle, which is a combination of a put and call with the same exercise price and exercise date. If we look at the profit trends for the holder and the writer of a straddle, the holder makes a profit if the price goes outside a certain close range. Anywhere above or anywhere below this range, the holder will make a profit. And the writer, again, it's a flip across the x-axis. The writer of the straddle will have a profit if the stock price trends in a certain close range, and will lose if the stock price changes dramatically. So, who holds a straddle? A straddle is purchased by somebody who believes that the price of shares will move substantially either up or down, but they're not sure of the direction. So they're not sure, hey, is that good news or bad news? Is the price going to move up drastically? Is the price going to move down drastically? But they do know that it's going to move drastically in some way. Okay, but they're not sure of the direction. But also, the other key factor is that other investors have underestimated the magnitude of the future price change. Basically, what they're saying is that they can predict these changes better than the average person in the market, because if the whole market was able to predict that amount of change, that would drive the price towards the direction where the whole market thinks it would go. Okay, so a straddle holder, first of all, has to believe that there's some information coming out, as well as they do not know which direction that's going to happen, and they do not believe that the overall market knows this information. Let's also talk now about some characteristics of option values and how we could determine some relationships between the price of different options. So firstly, American call options cannot sell for less than a European call option with the same exercise price and exercise date. What does that mean? An American call option can be exercised at any time up to the point of expiration, versus a European option is restricted to only being able to be sold at the date at which it expires. So basically, this extra freedom that we get through an American call option means that the value of an American call option should be at least as much or greater than a European call option. So that's the first relationship. Now, the second relationship is an American call option with a longer life cannot be worth less than another American call option on the same stock with the same strike price. Okay, so if we have two stocks that have if we have two options that have the same stock and the same price, and they only differ by the amount of time to maturity, only by the amount of the time to expiration date, the one with a longer life will have a higher value. And why? At least the same or a higher value. And why would that be? That would be because you have more time to be able to exercise that option, where the price of the underlying stock can change, and thus you have more value. So an American call cannot be worth less than another American call with a shorter life. The third main basic relationship is that a call with a higher strike price cannot be worth more than another call with the same expiration date written on the same stock. So if there's two call options with the same expiration date written on the same stock, a call with a higher strike price would mean that you would only exercise at very high prices. So that would actually be worth less because you're getting less of a room to make a profit. So a call with a higher strike price cannot be worth more than a call with the same with a lower strike price if they have the same expiration date and is written on the same stock. Now let's talk about the minimum value of a European call. The minimum value of a European call is given by the value will be at least the greater of 0 and the difference between the stock price and the present value of the exercise price. So there's a whole proof given in the textbook. I'm not going to dive into that. I'm just going to say that it's at least zero, or the difference between the stock price and the present value of the exercise price. So it's the greater value of those two differences. Now, if when I was talking about call options, the American call option, we said that the holders of a call option also have the right to be able to sell it in the market. Okay, so now we're going to show that the early exercise of an American call is never a profitable option, is never the best option that you have. Okay, it never pays to exercise an American call option before the expiration date on a stock that does not pay dividends or whose exercise price is adjusted for dividend payments. So it would always make more sense to sell that option in the option exchange and get a higher value out of that than to exercise the option and get whatever profits you're going to be getting. Put call parity. Now, what is put call parity? It's just the fact that a put and the underlying stock can be combined in such a way that the combination is the same payout as a call option. So if you combined a put option and the regular stock, you'd be able to mimic the trend that you saw in the call option profit curve. Similarly, a call and the underlying stock can also be combined in such a way so that they have the same payoff as a put option. Okay, you can combine a call option and the basic and the underlying stock so that you're able to mimic the trend of a put option. Why do we do that? Why do we want to mimic the trend of another option using sort of a put and a stock to mimic a call and a stock to mimic a put? That is put call parity, and that just allows the put or the call to be priced in terms of the other security.